What if I told you that the most dangerous place on Earth isn't a battlefield or a prison, but a mental hospital where the real criminals wear white coats? Picture this: Oregon State Mental Hospital. 1,960 seconds. The air is thick with disinfectant and despair. Patients shuffle through sterile hallways like ghosts, their spirits crushed under the iron fist of treatment. But this isn't just any hospital, this is a machine designed to break human souls. Meet our narrator, Chief Bromden, a towering Native American who everyone believes is deaf and mute. But here's the twist: he hears everything. For years, he's been the invisible witness to unspeakable horrors, pretending to be a deaf and dumb giant while secretly documenting the systematic destruction of human dignity. The ward is ruled by Nurse Ratched, and trust me, her name is no coincidence. She's not just strict, she's a psychological terrorist disguised as a caregiver. With her perfectly pressed uniform and cold, calculating smile, she controls every breath, every thought, every flicker of hope in her domain. But then, everything changes. The hurricane arrives. Enter Randle Patrick McMurphy, a red-headed force of nature, who crashes into the sterile world like a wrecking ball. This isn't your typical mental patient. McMurphy is a gambling, laughing, rule-breaking rebel who faked insanity to escape prison work detail. Big mistake. From his first day, McMurphy refuses to play by Ratched rules. While other patients whisper and cower, he laughs, he gambles, he questions authority, he treats the other patients like human beings instead of broken toys. The psychological warfare begins immediately. Ratched uses group therapy sessions as public execution platforms, forcing patients to tear each other apart emotionally. She controls medication, privileges, even bathroom breaks. Her weapon isn't violence, it's humiliation, manipulation, and the slow erosion of hope. But McMurphy, he sees right through her game. The first battle, McMurphy wants to watch the World Series on TV. Seems simple, right? Wrong. What follows is a power struggle that reveals the true nature of institutional control. It's not about baseball, it's about who decides what happens to your life. Here's where it gets interesting. As McMurphy fights back, something unexpected happens. The other patients, broken men who've forgotten how to be human, start to remember what it feels like to have a voice. The awakening McMurphy becomes more than a patient. He's a revolutionary, a teacher, a beacon of hope in a place designed to extinguish the human spirit. He organizes fishing trips illegally, of course, teaches patients to play cards, and most importantly, shows them that Nurse Ratched isn't a god, she's just a woman with too much power. Meet the supporting cast of Broken Souls. Billy Bibbett, a stuttering young man crushed by his mother's dominance. Dale Harding, an educated man hiding from his own perceived weakness. A follower desperate for someone to follow. And Chief Bromden, still watching, still pretending, but slowly awakening. Fishing trip episode is pure genius. McMurphy hijacks a hospital bus, loads it with patients, and takes them on an unauthorized adventure to the ocean. For the first time in years, these men taste freedom. They catch fish, breathe salt air, and remember what it means to be alive. But every revolution has its price. Plot twist: McMurphy discovers the horrifying truth. Unlike him, most patients are here voluntarily. They've been so broken by society, by family, by life itself, that they choose this prison over the scary world outside. This revelation rocks McMurphy to his core. What would you do? Would you keep fighting a system when you realize the prisoners have the keys to their own cells? The point of no return, the psychological warfare escalates. Ratched stops playing defense and goes on the attack. She uses the patient's deepest fears and shames against them. The group therapy sessions become gladiatorial combat, where she pits friend against friend. The breaking point comes when McMurphy finally snaps. In a moment of pure rage and frustration, he does something that changes everything. I won't spoil exactly what, but let's just say that Nurse Ratched's pristine white uniform gets disrupted. The consequences are swift and brutal. McMurphy is sent for electroconvulsive therapy, essentially torture disguised as treatment. But here's what makes the story brilliant. Even as they literally scramble his brain with electricity, McMurphy refuses to break. He comes back joking, still fighting, still being human. Meanwhile, Chief Bromden is experiencing his own transformation. Through McMurphy's influence, the deaf and dumb giant is finding his voice, his strength, his humanity. The contrast is beautiful and heartbreaking. Then comes the final act, a party that shouldn't have happened, featuring characters who shouldn't have been there, leading to consequences that will haunt you long after the story ends. The ultimate sacrifice. Without spoiling the ending, let me tell you this: Ken Kesey doesn't give us a Hollywood conclusion. This is a story about the price of freedom, the cost of rebellion, and what it truly means to be human in a system designed to crush individuality. The final confrontation between McMurphy and Ratched isn't just about two people, it's about two philosophies of life. She represents control, conformity, the crushing weight of institutional power. He represents chaos, freedom, the messy beauty of human nature. Chief Bromden's transformation reaches its climax in a scene so powerful, so symbolic, that it will give you chills. Remember, he's been our eyes and ears throughout this entire journey. His final act is both an ending and a beginning. The genius of this story lies in its questions. Who decides what's normal? Is it better to be a broken conformist or a defiant individual? Can one person really change an entire system? What does it cost to be truly free? Kesey based this on his own experiences working in a mental hospital and participating in government LSD experiments. This isn't just fiction, it's a mirror held up to society's treatment of those who don't fit the mold. Why this story still matters: One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest isn't just about a mental hospital in the 1960s. It's about every classroom, workplace, and institution where power crushes creativity. It's about the choice between comfortable slavery and dangerous freedom. The book asks us, in a world full of nurse Ratcheds, will you be McMurphy? Will you be Chief Bromden? Or will you be one of the patients who voluntarily stays in the cage? Your turn to engage. Have you ever encountered a nurse Ratched in your own life? Do you think McMurphy was truly insane? Or was he the only sane person in an insane world? What would you have done in Chief Bromden's position? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and remember, sometimes the most rebellious act is simply refusing to be silent. If this summary made you think, made you question, or made you want to read the full novel, that's exactly what Ken Kesey intended. The Cuckoo's Nest is everywhere. The only question is, are you going to fly over it? Or are you going to stay trapped inside? Like if you're Team McMurphy, subscribe if you believe in questioning authority, and share if you think everyone deserves to hear this story. Because in a world of cuckoo's nests, we all need a little more rebellion.